Can I share with you a potentially bullshit scientific insight which I had recently?
Sure.
Go for it.
I'm on a mailing list, which is the rationalist discussion list on Yahoo. That I don't particularly recommend because it's being infiltrated by pseudo-rationalists.
Oh.
People who believe a bunch of bullshit but want to call themselves rational. But one of the things recently posted in here was a list of like the top 20 mysteries in science. And two of them struck me as potentially being related. One is the solar system. We sent out, I think, the Pioneer space probes.
Right.
That we've been tracking them since they left the solar system. And after they got beyond a certain point, they seem to have accelerated.
Interesting.
Yes. The other one is that beyond the Oort cloud, I think it was the Oort cloud, or it might be some other area of stuff around the solar system, there is a zone which appears to be empty. More empty than it makes sense for it to be. And this is one of the main pieces of evidence cited for another planet. Right?
It's
gravitation.
Swept up by that planet.
Suck up all the
But just suppose, in the traditional model of gravity, right? Gravity distorts space-time, and you get this nice smooth funnel kind of effect, right? What if, instead of having a nice smooth funnel effect, there was a lip? What if there was a ripple around the outside of it? Then you could have your solar system in here, right, whirling around, but if you sent a probe out at a certain point, it would actually, the gravity would drop off. It wouldn't be on a smooth curve. It would get over that hump, and then off it would go. Which is what they saw the Pioneer things doing. Plus,
of course, the home audience cannot see this little picture you're doodling.
Right.
Okay, we'll scan it and post it for people listening to my doodles that you won't understand. I think I'm explaining it.
You're describing it quite well.
Okay. And the Oort cloud would be encompassed within this lip, but outside of it, there'd actually be gravitation would actually not pull things in as much as was expected. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I think
interesting.
I think this could also relate to what we were talking about specifically.
Yes, that's why I thought
without the lip, if perhaps once you get outside of this zone of our solar system and on the gravitational effects of all the items within it, once you cross a boundary, the constant changes. And that would explain why the probe perhaps...
And it would still be, if that was the case, there would still be a universal set of laws. It's just that there would be subtle details to it that are not normally taken into account.
What this would mean in 3D space...
some background set of constants and the ones inside gravity wells.
What this would mean in 3D space, I imagine, is that you've got this sort of sphere around our solar system, right? And anything that enters the sphere gets pushed outward, like it was being acted on by negative magnets or something.
No, that's not quite.
Well,
that's
I
not
mean,
quite an accurate description of what I was saying.
You said that the probe started accelerating away from us
after it left the solar system.
Yeah, so it started accelerating away from us. So once something encountered the lip, if it was coming toward us, it would be sort of pushed backwards a little bit because it's being accelerated the opposite way.
I'm not sure if that's what would happen or whether there would just be a constant slight push away from us everywhere outside of that sphere.
That's kind
and
of what
once
I
you
meant.
got in, that push away would be eradicated by different.
Well, it would start pulling.
Different conditions inside.
Once you got over this.
Right. The force of gravity would pull you in the way we're used to.
Right.
There's a guy
I'm not sure anybody is following this without
Talk Origin.
We
mentioned that we atheists just didn't want to believe in a creator, right? And I said, nonsense. I think it would be totally awesome if we discovered that the universe was created by a bunch of extra-dimensional aliens. And I said it would be really cool if we could then, research these aliens and find the forums they use that have the cheat codes for this universe, because that would be great.
I know Kung Fu.
Speaking of Werner Vinge, who I mentioned was on that other guy's podcast,
yeah,
I believe I read a book by him where part of the premise was that the constants did change when you got outside of the plane of the Milky Way. Like, faster than light travel was possible if you go sideways out of the Milky Way a certain distance. Then you could go zipping around, and then you'd have to come back.
Oh, it's even more pervasive in his stories. Within the
was
galactic structure, I think it was Werner Vinge, who had it that the further away from the center of the galaxy you are, the more intelligent you can be.
Right. Oh, right.
It was really bizarre. It was really bizarre.
Well, okay. There's our wacky science portion of the program.
Well, that was our wacky science fiction portion.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling